watching Morning News on Global Montreal.
Well, good morning and welcome back. Wi-Fi baby monitors are all the rage. It helps parents feel secure, but they've also been the target of hackers and are causing major unrest and uneasiness. With parents here to talk about all of that is Terry Cutler, who's the founder of Digital Locksmiths. Terry, good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me how these monitors work. I mean, we hear about Wi-Fi baby monitors, and I've seen some stuff on YouTube that went around. Some weird hackers got into one particular baby's that was like, that was the most clicked on YouTube video.
Yep.
But how do they work?
Okay, so the newer forms of these baby monitors, they're a web or app-based system. So from your smartphone, you'll be able to log in your camera, configure it, and also you can actually view what's happening from the other end of the world.
Right.
Now, what's happening is when you have convenience, too much convenience, there's a security risk.
Right, well, it seems like a parent's dream, right? Because
yeah.
I know that when my kids were babies, we had baby monitors with video, and that was exciting.
Yeah.
But this to be at home and be able to click in, or like you said, on the other side of the world and check in on your baby seems like a dream come true.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's the bad side.
Right, so obviously the biggest problem that they have is that they don't secure them properly. When it comes to especially passwords, the most common password that was used last year was 123456. So a lot of parents, when they configure these Wi-Fis, they're like, oh, no one's going to hack me. Why would they want to hack me?
Why would they want to hack a baby monitor?
Right.
That's what they're thinking.
So they choose a really bad password for convenience, for ease of use to remember. And what happens is they don't realize that when we do these intrusion tests, or even these hackers, when they break in, we have automated tools which has hundreds of thousands of passwords in it, which we can automatically just throw at the system, and one of them will eventually work.
I didn't know that. That's scary.
So we're not there just trying every single password manually.
Right.
No, we have automated tools. It just goes.
And so, let's say somebody has a really complicated password.
Yeah.
How easy is it for a hacker to get into it? I mean, other than, does it have to be numbers, or can you put capital letters and exclamation marks and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so you want to have a combination of everything, uppercase, lowercase, symbols, and you want to have between 16 and 25 characters long. Now, I know what you're thinking. How on earth are you going to remember a password like that? The suggestion I can give you is remember things like passphrases, song lyrics. Put that as your password and mix it up.
Right.
And the O's will become a 0. Maybe the 3 is an E. And then, so when you have passwords like that, it's very difficult for a hacker to break in unless he compromised the entire system. Then from there we can use the passwords.
Okay, so the key is the password. That's the key.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's interesting to know, because most people think you're sitting there, like the old lock break-in, that you're going through every number, but they're not.
They're not. They're not. And what really concerns me is that a lot of times let's say that the monitor gets hacked into, the parent will just say, I'm going to change my password. That's going to be the first thing they're going to try. But when the hacker breaks in, he has access to create himself another user with his own password.
Oh.
So here you are as the parent changing your own password, but the hacker has his own account. And he can just log in whenever he wants, and he can see and listen to what's happening in the room.
So, I mean, explain to me, I think what most parents are thinking, like you said at the beginning, why would they want to go into a baby monitor? Because really all you're seeing in the baby monitor is a baby.
Correct.
So why would a hacker spend so much time doing that, other than just to annoy people?
Yeah, most of the time it's to annoy it, to have some fun. I mean, when you see the new smart homes that are coming in, where you can control your lights and whatever. So imagine you're sitting at the dinner table, all of a sudden your lights are flickering, things are happening in another room. You're going to think there's a ghost in the house and freak out, right? So all this stuff has to be protected, especially when everything's becoming a more connected world, So yeah, the password is going to be is one of the keys, the strongest factor here.
So can you get one of those monitors and turn off the Wi-Fi function? Because if without the Wi-Fi function, they obviously can't hack into it.
Right. So there's two modes. Okay, you have the remote function where you can monitor it from around the world, and you've got local mode, which means this Wi-Fi the system will only work within your home. It won't be accessible from the rest of the world. So they want to configure it at least through what's called a local network. And then from there, they shouldn't be able to get in. So,
I mean, it sounds like you have to be pretty knowledgeable in this stuff to even, I mean, is it even worth it? I mean, it sounds like it gives you more stress than comfort.
Right.
And then once they get into the system, can they access something else? I think that's the other fear, is once you said they're creating a user, maybe they're hearing on how to access other parts of the security system in the house.
It could be. So, for example, if the person is within range of the Wi-Fi of the home itself, and they got in with a weak password, they can access or speak to any computer or device in the home. And if there's any other devices that are weak and they can get hacked into, we can actually compromise certain system and stay in the house. So they got to really set up strong passwords and use what's called two-factor authentication. This is where you type in a password, and then Google or something will send you back a code on your phone
to get the text, right? Which I have that with Google.
Exactly.
It's a bit annoying, but at least you know that you're safer, correct?
And I think they should really look at the manual, because a lot of times they'll install it and say, oh, this is easy as pie, and then set it all up, but they misconfigure it. They enable too much stuff, and then it allows the hacker more doors or more ways to get in.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Terry. Thank you for that information. It gives, some parents a little bit of food for thought.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much for coming in. Lots more coming up after the break. Stay with us.